I swear I've seen a lot of stuff in my life, but that was awesome.
It was very awesome.
Indeed.
Speaking of which, awesomeness, huge shout out to Southern Vapors and everything they did for us yesterday and last night.
It was magnificent.
More than magnificent. It was epic.
It was. It was truly epic. They sold out of Venom.
Yeah, they had very low of the extract because they didn't plan on releasing it yesterday.
Yeah,
and then they found out, we have a little bit of the extracts we need for it. So we can sell a couple bottles.
Congrats on whoever bought Venom because apparently people liked it, and it looks like towards the end of it, Pro Nerd was starting to run low.
Yeah, I think they completely sold out of Pro Nerd. They had somewhere around 30 bottles gone. I know for a fact the guy that came in second on the males cloud competition, he bought I think it's a 120 milliliter bottle of Pro Nerds.
Whoa!
I didn't know they even had them that big.
Even Tanya's like, Jesus.
Yeah, I got two 30 milliliter bottles. I got Pro Nerds and Stay Puffin', and I feel kind of ashamed to say, as long as that's been a confirmed flavor, I hadn't tried it until yesterday, and I've been vaping the tar out of it. And yes, Lewis, I know you got the first bottle of Venom. Apparently, he's vaping it right now. And for those of you who don't know, if you bought a bottle of Pro Nerd or any nerdery line, if you post a photo of you with your bottle to our Twitter, to our Facebook, to our Instagram, wherever, if we get 100 photos combined between the three,
that's right.
I have the last 4 issues of Fantastic Four, and if we get 100 photos, I will give them away to a lucky person. One lucky person. Right now we have two entries, and that is despicable. So, folks, get on those cameras. I give you a great excuse to take a selfie.
Yeah,
I want to see your face and your bottle.
And if you have a bottle of Pro Nerd, Stay Puffin', or Venom, and you purchase them there, please tell your friends and tell them to go get a bottle and fucking take a picture with it.
Yeah,
and send it to us because we want to do this.
Yeah. I've got a lot of comics and I've got a lot to give away.
And that's right. He does. I do as well, so that's something to think about. So anyway, what else? We also want to.
They're located at 322 East Texas Avenue in Baytown.
There you go.
I don't have their phone number on me, but if you listen to our little spot from yesterday,
and that's also the home of Captain Jack's Elixirs as well.
Yes, so, one of my favorite flavors. All of my favorite flavors come from there.
Eddie Van Hazen.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Some Van Hazen, man.
That's what I'm vaping at the moment. My reload will be Stay Puffin'.
Is there anybody
what
else?
flavor is the Venom? Jerry, that is it's kind of like a Jaeger Bomb Light.
Yeah. And believe it or not, there's actually no licorice flavoring in it.
Yeah, not one bit. I'm not going to tell you what's in it.
Yeah. So, but it does taste like a Jaeger Bomb.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't have all that hard punch that the liquor does.
Yeah.
Because, there's no liquor in it.
Exactly.
And Jerry says Eddie rules, and yes, it does. Stay Puffin' rules as well. But we'll also shout out to All-Star.
All-Star Comics.
They're in Baytown. Man, I want to give a special thank you to Chris Foreman and Chris Asbeck this week. Because, man, both of you guys are just awesome. Doing solids for us left and right and helping us out and basically anything and everything we ask.
They're awesome. They're awesome dudes, and they're great at the art that they do.
Jerry is almost out of his Stay Puffin' already.
What?
Dude, it's a 30 ml bottle.
Calm down, man. It'll be there.
They got plenty. Go get some more.
Go get some more, dude.
Go get some more. But Jerry, back to your question.
Yes, we have Civil War on the
discussion.
List
yes,
tonight,
Civil War is the next Marvel movie. Yep. Now we've already done the discussion block on the Batman Superman movie.
Right.
So I think we
got to hit some Marvel.
Yeah, it is fair to do a block on Marvel.
I think I'm going to lead in with this.
Okay. How did it start?
Okay. The whole start of it was actually the last Secret Wars story arc.
That's right.
Which dealt with some tech being messed with. And what happened? Well, the deal was you had S.H.I.E.L.D. wanting to register all of the superhumans and empowered beings on the planet.
Metahumans,
right?
Mutants.
They wanted to put them under one house so they could have control over them, make task force out of them, and send them out wherever they needed to be.
From what I understand, there was also the accountability aspect as well.
Yes, it was also an accountability aspect. You had a villain that pretty much destroyed a town by going. Technically, it was Nitro. Nitro was a villain who had explosive capabilities. He could generate explosives, and he got amped up somehow by some serious tech, and it caused him to go supernova. Basically, he destroyed an entire town. So that was the whole Superhero Registration Act. Now, Maria Hill was trying to enact this, and you had competitors on both sides. You had Iron Man vying for it, and at the time he was, I think it was, what is it? What's that cabinet position? It's not Secretary of Defense. So Tony Stark was Secretary of Defense at the time, so he was totally behind the Registration Act. He was totally behind getting people registered, and these people have superpowers. They need to be registered. They need to be.
We need to keep an eye on them.
Right. And then you had Cap's faction. Captain America splintered off and said, no, freedom for all, equality for all. We're fighting crime. We're fighting the big bads that come.
Fighting the good fight.
Exactly. So why should we have to register? And the split between the two. I'm curious to see how it's going to come about in Captain America. And I have my theories on this. You have two front runners because if you don't know, Jerry, Captain America dies at the end of Civil War.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. If you have not read the comics, in the comic books, he gets killed. And in the movie, the guy who kills him is cast. So you have Crossbones in the movie. In the comic books, Crossbones kills him.
And we have seen Crossbones in a movie already. He was in Captain America 2, Winter Soldier.
Oh, I totally missed that.
Yeah.
I totally missed that. So there you go. The question is, though, will they kill Chris Evans' Cap? And if they do, who will replace them?
Well,
because
it depends on the comic book.
They've already got two front runners. They've got Bucky, Winter Soldier, and they've got Sam Wilson, Falcon. So both of those characters in the comic books, well, Falcon is Cap right now. So there you go. What did he say?
He does remember that from the comic books.
There you go. So that's something to take into consideration. Another thing is, we did mention that Spider-Man will be in the movie.
That's correct.
Why Sony
we're
is
expecting that announcement this week. And
yeah.
Folks, I have no idea how many people I'm following, so I can get that to y'all first.
Yeah, we want to put that on a hot, fresh platter for you and tell you to keep your hands off of it, or otherwise you might burn yourself.
There you go.
So we're going to try our best. But yeah, that's why they're clamoring for it. Another thing is, and that's the interesting part, Spider-Man was a big part of Civil War.
He was the man in the middle.
Iron Man came to him, and Tony Stark came to him and said, "Hey man, trust me. I want to make you one of my lieutenants. I want to make you one of my big head honchos. I'm going to give you some spider armor. We're going to do this thing. All you got to do is tell everybody who you are." And he did. And it royally fucked his life. So
not just his, but
really,
a lot of other people's.
Exactly. That's the point, and that he lost sight of why he had a secret identity.
Yeah,
and it was to protect everybody around him. And once he revealed his secret identity, those people were no longer protected.
That's right.
So my phone's going off. Jeez, who's?
It wasn't very long after that Peter Parker did regret it, and he wound up making a deal with Mephisto to basically take it all back. Mephisto is pretty much the Marvel Universe devil.
Yeah.
And
you can actually see him physically represented by, I think it's Peter Fonda in the original Ghost Rider, which I thought was it was the first one.
Yeah.
It was the first one, and I thought that was actually the best casting job ever because he looked like Mephisto.
Yeah.
So that there were a lot of issues I had with that movie, but that was one of them I did not.
I'm sorry to say, Nick Cage, hang up any capes, hang up any masks. It's just not your thing, buddy.
He loves it though.
I know he does,
dude. Okay. I think Spirit of Vengeance was a redeemer. I think that movie brought it back. It brought it back to its core, and I'll give Nick Cage some props because every time they had his character on the screen, every time they had Johnny Blaze. Every time they had Johnny Blaze on screen as the Ghost Rider, Nick Cage, for the special effects, he did his face up in a skull.
Oh wow!
He actually did the skull paint, so they have more representation to work with.
That's actually really
he's
really
method,
cool.
man. You know, he's a method actor, and I like it. But
Jerry did not like Spirit of Vengeance.
I thought it was.
To each his own.
Jerry, I got to ask you, was it better than the first one? Okay, I'm going to wait for a reply, and we're going to continue.
Okay. But, well, who in the comic books, I know, but the listeners don't know, who was the next person to don the star and shield?
That would be Bucky Barnes,
the Winter
Soldier. And that I actually have a lot of that run, if not almost all of it, and it was amazing. I thought it was cool to see.
He says simply new.
Oh, come on. I thought the first one was lame. I thought the first Ghost Rider was lame because he was fighting a bunch of emo, cockmunch, empowered idiots. So you tell me, all right? Look, Blackheart? Really?
Oh, that...
Really?
That's the Everything is Beautiful kid.
Oh, God. Yes, it was a kid from American Beauty.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like a fight, and you know what? I'm firmly convinced that's where what's her name, Katy Perry, got that song from. What's a damn song?
It's that one song with
that
the words.
One song with the guy, you know.
See, doesn't Civil War merge Avengers and X-Men?
You know, it kind of does because characters do because. Well, okay.
It's mutants are involved as well.
Yes, because
they are metahumans.
On Cap's side, you had Cable fighting alongside him. Hell, you had the Punisher fighting alongside him.
Yeah.
For a brief time, they kind of convinced the Punisher that, you know, hey, maybe you should use some non-lethal weapons and fight with us.
Yeah.
And he did, but that was really good. It was
Speaking of Punisher, yes, we did get that casting. For Daredevil Season 2,
yes,
we will see a Punisher.
Is it Joe Bernthal? Or Joe Bernthal. Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, Joe Bernthal from
It's on our website.
Dead.
I did publish that article.
Joe Bernthal from Walking Dead and Fury will be playing the Punisher. This also ties into an article that Soren wrote not too long ago about...
Punisher reverting.
Yeah, well... Tom Hardy wanting to play the role. And
yes,
you know that's something. If Tom Hardy wants it, he's going to have to fight for it because apparently we've already got a Punisher.
That's right, John Bernthal.
John Bernthal. There you go.
Bernthal. That is up on our website, and I'm sorry about how short that article is. I was just trying to get it out semi quickly.
Yeah.
But I will go back and I will edit it and post it with a lot more details.
There you go.
And speculation and personal opinion and whatnot and what have you.
I seem to remember Wolverine fighting Iron Man. Of course, it could have just been a dream. You know,
they've actually faced off more than once.
Wolverine probably did fight Iron Man in that one. And he does love the Daredevil. Jerry says he does love the Daredevil series. Well, fuck, I love it too, man.
So,
I am.
I don't think anybody here at the Nerdery was disappointed.
No, I don't think anybody was disappointed. That series has already got a season 2 greenlit, and we're waiting.
Yeah, eagerly.
So good. I hope they retool the Daredevil costume a little bit, though. I mean, I look. I wasn't a fan of it. I was actually more pleased with him being just the man in the black mask.
Okay.
And then once he put on the costume, I was like, because it harkened back to like the 90s black and red costume with the armor. I didn't dig it.
I loved that one. That's the same outfit he wore going into Fall from Grace.
Okay. Well,
Fall from Grace is when he went through a lot of costumes in the run of about 8 issues.
Oh God!
And if y'all haven't, if you're a Daredevil fan and you haven't read Tree of Knowledge or Fall from Grace, I highly recommend them. Fall from Grace was one of those few titles that sucked me into comic books so fast. The
surprising thing, and one thing is you can say to the readers readers and listeners that series is actually not a. It's not a blockbuster series, so it didn't get a lot of acclaim. It didn't,
but it's great.
Yeah, it's great writing, but people didn't pick up on it. So it's relatively cheap to get.
I've actually been able to find a lot of my because I'm recollecting an old collection that I used to have.
Yeah,
and I found most of my recollected Fall from Grace in bargain bins.
There you go.
I'm talking like 50 cents an issue. Now, keep in mind there is a prologue, there's an epilogue. And then there's 6 standard issues, so there's 8 total. But you're going to see all of his foes and all of his allies come through that arc, and it is absolutely wonderful. And they're all premium issues, so they have the heavy cover, and they're ad free, and they're probably about at least double issues, if not triple issues, each one of them.
Damn,
it's a beautiful writing. Amazing art. 5 capes, straight up. Wow. Just from memory.
There you go.
And Jerry says the greatest Kingpin choice.
Yeah.
When I heard that he had been cast, I didn't know what to think about it.
No, I knew exactly what to think about it, because D'Onofrio is a fucking chameleon.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love how deep they went into Kingpin and his origins and where he came from, and that hadn't been done on screen before.
I don't know.
Even in animated.
Is that creative license, or do you know enough to say that was accurate?
That's from what I can remember reading of Spider-Man and Daredevil, who are his major foes. That is really close to accurate. His financial status growing up, I believe, was a little different. But as far as his father and who they made his father in the series, from what I remember, that is like spot on accurate. Oh, wow. So,
but I love the dichotomy between the two characters. Just making Daredevil and Kingpin be opposites.
Oh yeah,
they were brought up in the same environment. They just had
the same neighborhood.
They had different upbringings. Yeah. They had different parents.
That's right.
And where Daredevil, where Matt Murdock's dad was more loving and caring, and he was the fighter at his job, but he was the loving, caring father. You had Kingpin, Wilson Fisk's father, being
rule by fist.
Right. He's like, no, you got to be the strongest and muscle everybody around and tell them who you are.
That's right.
Make sure they know your name. And man, that my girlfriend even told me that episode where they covered his backstory.
Yeah.
That almost made her cry. She felt for the guy.
From everything I can remember from the comics, and like I said, folks, a lot of my original collections have been lost. I'm trying to recollect what I can, what's actually available, because I had a lot of rare stuff.
Oh.
But from what I remember, that is spot on. And when I sat there and I watched that episode, I was just jaw on the floor. Like they nailed it. Mm-hmm. They absolutely nailed it. And I understand in comic book movies and TV, you have to take a lot of creative license, and I don't have a problem with that. But when they are able to get that close to the comic book representation, it's an amazing thing to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, really, really is. And it's jaw on the floor the entire time.
Look, that series had me more impressed, and I was like so impressed with the fight choreography. The things that impressed me the most were, it was that hallway scene where he's beating the shit out of those Russian dudes,
and that was in the first or second.
Second, I think. and that blew me the fuck away because it was like it made me think of two movies in particular. One, Fight Club, and the other one was Old Boy. And I was just like, the only reason Old Boy is because you see a very similar situation, but with more bad guys and a claw hammer involved. So,
Yeah.
Now I'm going to warn you, if anybody hasn't seen Old Boy and you decide to go see the original, it's a mind fuck, and it's got a crazy ending. But great movie. Anyway, the fight choreography for Daredevil was spot fucking on.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome.
They got his acrobatics down. They really made him nitty gritty, and it really, even though he has abilities that are metahuman as far as his lack of sight and being able to see the way he does, he's still a human, and it showed that.
Yeah.
It showed that he can be broken.
He can be hurt.
He can be hurt.
According to Lewis, that hallway scene was one take.
Wow.
And you know what? As far as the environment destruction...
Yes. Just to cut in, Jerry asked, did we say Punisher was going to be in... Didn't
yes.
you... Hey, man, you need to read the top article on the Nerdery page, man.
I don't believe it's the top one anymore, but
it's
not very
pretty
far
damn
down.
close.
John Bernthal cast as Punisher.
That would be Rick's partner from Walking Dead, the guy that they finally iced after being on there way too long.
Oh, it is the top. It is when you go to our website,
yes.
thenerdery.net, look at your bottle of Stay Puffin, and it's right there at the top, thenerdery.net.
Yeah.
If you go to the website, that is the top article on our website at the moment. So
and we try to bring as much information as we can to you. It's only as fast as people can write. So we try to get it there. Check it out. Yeah. And we, you know what? That's something we should bring up. How do you think this is going to work out with the Punisher being in season 2? Because you've got some serious.
For me, the big thing is how are they going to meet?
Well,
Punisher.
My big thing is they've got two different ideas of what justice is.
True.
So you've got the Punisher who. He decided to go the way he went because of what happened to his family. And the lack of intervention with law enforcement. And he said, you know what, to hell with this. I'm taking law into my own hands. And then you've got a man who takes law into his own hands, but he doesn't kill.
Yeah, well, they have similar ideals on what is justice and what is not.
And I think I should bring up my text to you. I think it was, they will first meet as friends, then find a wedge between their friendship as to how they deal with their situations, and then eventually become frenemies. So.
Yeah. I think it should start as a showdown. I think it should start as a fight. And then they find some common ground, and they kind of become frenemies from there. But they have similar... Well, how did I put it to you? They have similar ideals, but different opposite execution.
Yeah. It's just like, this and Punisher is another character just like Kingpin. As far as the comic books go, the first dealings with the Punisher you dealt with in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it crossed over into Daredevil.
That's right.
Because it was street level, man. It wasn't like, big honking superpowers and capes and shit. Let's see, get it right. The Punisher
that's
doesn't
right.
do justice.
He does punishment.
That is true.
That is true. That is why he's the Punisher. This is not a threat. This is not an act of war. This is punishment.
Right. Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I apologize.
See, we've had 3 Punisher feature films, and we've had 3 actors play him so far.
My girlfriend actually said the very first was the best.
Really?
She thought the Dolph Lundgren. She thought the Dolph Lundgren Punisher was the best film.
Now, I haven't seen it since I was working at a video store.
I'm going to have to let you borrow it.
It was many, many moons ago. Now, I have seen the Thomas Jane one.
Yeah.
And I love it for multiple reasons.
Oh, it was a good film. I
like Travolta.
Yeah.
I thought he was a great guy for the role. The cool mobster.
It was cool to see him play a bad guy again.
Well, the last thing I think we really saw him as a bad guy
Face Off.
No, it's the space one.
Oh.
Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth. We saw him as a villain.
No.
Yes, Jerry. There were 3 Punisher films.
Never mind. I forgot about Dolph.
Okay.
He forgot about Dolph. You can't forget about Dolph. Come on.
Dolph Lundgren, the Russian.
No, he wasn't the Russian.
He was the
Russian
in Rocky.
He was. I thought you were talking Punisher. We were talking Punisher.
No.
That was Kevin Nash.
Yeah. In comics and film, man, a lot of names.
And by the way, just to make this clusterfuck even worse, Kevin Nash's first appearance on film was as the Super Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
That's right.
Secret of the Ooze.
That's right.
So,
well, speaking of John Bernthal in recent stuff, he was in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
he was. He also played BJ, De Niro's son, in Grudge Match.
Oh wow.
And
he's been in a lot of stuff.
He was in 2 episodes of The Pacific as Sergeant Manuel Rodriguez, and he, of course, it's already on his Wikipedia already. He's playing Frank Castle / The Punisher.
Wow!
And a video game role that I didn't know about, and I play this game at least twice a week.
Well, come on, lay it on me.
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. He did the voice of Decker, and the mocap for the character was John Bernthal.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Battlefield Earth was crap. Jerry, I agree.
And yes, he was?
Who was?
What? Oh, he was the Russian.
Oh, yes.
Yes, he was the Russian.
Yes, and Rocky 5, Rocky 4.
I will break you.
Yes, I must break. He is like a piece of iron. I see 3 of them. Hit the one in the middle. I'm a walking compendium of movie lines, folks. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm Whitey, and I apologize.
To quote Chris Titus.
That's right. But see what else? What else we got? I picked up Spider-Verse #2. I haven't read it yet because I didn't read 1, and I don't know what got through my head. I thought this was 1, and I grabbed it, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
I did the same thing with another comic from another company, and I was just kind of like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
It happens.
What's going on? There's no intro.
Yes, Super Shredder, actually.
Oh, yes.
Super Shredder. He was at the end. He wasn't Shredder. That was some other guy. He was Super Shredder.
That's right. That's right. I've got a bunch of other stuff that I'm currently reading. I've got Think Tank.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't gotten very far into it. I haven't had a lot of time for it. But it is another Matt Hawkins title. And I'm really amped to read it. I can't wait for it. And you know what? I'm going to do something that I've never done live on the air before.
What are you doing?
I am going to give our listeners a sneak peek at what's coming out this Wednesday. Let's see. From DC, we got Black Canary #1, Dr. Fate #1, Doomed #1, Green Lantern, The Lost Army #1, Harley Quinn and Power Girl #1, Infinite Crisis, Fight for the Multiverse. What'd I tell you? That's number 12, though. Justice League #1, Martian Manhunter #1, The Prez #1, Robin, Secret 6, Sensation Comics featuring Wonder Woman #11, Sinestro #12, Superman Wonder Woman #18. I'm actually kind of excited to read that. And Teen Titans Go #10 and Wonder Woman 41. That's just DC. It sounds like a huge week. Now, unfortunately, Dark Horse and Dynamite and IDW, they don't update their feed very quickly.
What's up with that?
I don't know, and it really irritates me at times. From Image, we have Alex and Ida, #15. Astronauts in Trouble, #1. Let's see.
Buffy
God Hates Astronauts. I can't see the number on that. Lazarus is coming out. Manifest Destiny. Revival. Stray Bullets, #5. Sunshine and Roses. Actually, that looks... Some of the art coming from Image these days is just incredible.
Yeah, man.
I just gotta let that be known. What I'm really looking for is anything from our buddy coming out this week.
Yeah, you want some Matt Hawkins.
Tales of Honor, Bred to Kill, #1. Now, I read number 0, which is a free
That
comic
was
book
good,
day.
wasn't it?
It was incredible. Incredible.
Look at the artwork at the front of Aphrodite.
It's
Very similar to that.
It is, but that's got almost an Alex Ross feel to it.
A little bit.
A little
with the
bit.
coloration, but Matt Hawkins, if you can find, if you're listening right now and you can find anything Matt Hawkins, if you can find
Anything.
some Postal, if you can find some Tithe, pick it up. You're going to love
Aphrodite, because the 9 series.
Yeah,
it's not just
Aphrodite 9.
Aphrodite. There's several.
Yeah.
There's the Cyber Fours. It'll be Image, Top Cow.
Yeah.
Which is like Vertigo from DC. But anything IX, there's actual several titles, and I believe he had a hand in all of them. From Marvel this week, we got Armor Wars number 2, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad number 4. Now, I haven't read any of that.
I believe that is actually based on Disney.
Disney.
That's
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a Disney story.
Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bucky Barnes Winter Soldier number 9, Darth Vader number 7. Don't get too excited, Jimmy.
Deadpool, Secret
Wars number 2.
2.
Deathlock number 9. George Romero's Empire of the Dead Act 3 number 3. Magneto number 19. Moon Knight number 16. Miss Marvel 16. Old Man Logan number 2. Runaways 1. Squadron Sinister 1. And Thor's 1. Now I might pick up Thor's 1.
I did read Old Man Logan number 1, and that was pretty cool. But what we've been discussing is Wolverine coming back to the Marvel Universe.
From what I understand, huge spoiler alert right here, folks. From what I understand, it's going to be Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan will be the staple Wolverine for the Marvel Universe.
There's going to be another one, and I'm not sure which one that is.
Yeah, because,
but for sure.
Well, there's two. There's two in the running, because in the Ultimate Universe he had a kid.
Oh.
And in the regular universe, in the 616, he had a kid.
That's right.
So you got Dakin and his other son. I can't remember his name. But
either
way, it's going to be interesting, man.
Well, I got one more publisher I'm going to run down. Vertigo, which is under DC. We have Astro City number 24, The Kitchen number 8, and another one that I'm definitely picking up. I'm not going to miss this for the world.
Furiosa.
Mad Max, Fury Road, Furiosa number 1. I'm definitely going to be grabbing
Witness
that.
me!
Oh, yeah. It's going to really, really be an awesome read. If you haven't read Nux and Immortan Joe number 1, you definitely should. If you liked Mad Max, Fury Road, or you like comics, or you like them both, that is required read. I'm giving you homework, folks.
Yeah.
If you like Fury Road,
go read the comics.
Go read the comic books. If you like comic books,
go
and kind of a Mad
Fury
Max,
Road.
and pick up the
Fuck
comic.
it. Watch Fury Road, then pick up the comics, or do both at the same time.
No, because then you're splitting attention. That's no.
Yeah,
no.
you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Okay, don't do that.
Yeah, okay.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry, folks. It's late for us. We had a long night last night.
Oh God, fuck. You had a long night.
Oh yeah,
man.
yeah.
I had a long.
We had long nights. But you know what, folks? I'm so glad y'all are listening, and thank y'all so much to everybody who showed up last night to meet Jimmy and I, and to taste our vape flavors. And
it was a wonderful turnout. It was awesome to see everybody together and just enjoying their vape, man.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I really love the fact that Pro Nerd and Stay Puffin release simultaneously, because they're on opposite ends of the flavor spectrum.
Yeah.
And basically, if one of them's not your thing, you're gonna love the other.
Get the sweet with the sour.
Yeah. The Stay Puffin is a little too dark and too dark a flavor for me. Oh, well, you'll probably love Pro Nerds then. I find them like 10 minutes later. Oh yeah, it's delicious. I got 2 bottles. The Pro Nerd is a little too sweet for me. Oh, well, you should try the Stay Puffin. Find them probably about a half hour later. Yeah, I went ahead and I bought a bottle. If you don't like one, you're going to love the other.
There you go.
So,
and there will be 2 more flavors to. Well, Venom was already a small release,
very small release.
They're going to have 2 more flavors coming out.
Venomous and Cryptic.
There you go.
And I'm not going to tell y'all what Cryptic's going to taste like. Y'all are going to have to figure that out on your own. But that'll be our Superman themed flavor.
That's why it's Cryptic.
That's right.
So we also need to give a shout out to who else? Who gets a shout out?
you know what? Jenny Kelly.
Jenny Kelly?
Yes.
We do need to shout out to her.
We're trying to get an established date. We're going to have some news coming up with her. Possibly a crossover.
She was on the Bloggers Press with us at Comic Palooza and also cosplaying at the same time.
Yeah.
So
great work.
Doubling her efforts, man.
And she has a YouTube channel. I don't have the address on that, but I know Chris is listening.
Yeah.
And he'll probably be putting that on our Twitter right now.
Yeah, you can do that. And you can also, I believe there are some links to her video blog through our Facebook or Twitter.
Our Facebook and our Twitter, I believe.
It is cooking cosplay. So she shows you how to cook some food while she dresses up.
I think it's I Love Flavor, I think is her name. But great videos, great food.
Yeah.
And, I'm there's a fat kid inside of me. I know, I ate him. That's what happens when you eat one of my donuts.
Oh, man.
I eat you. And
don't
by
ever
proxy,
eat one of his donuts.
By proxy, I ate my donut. I just had to eat you to get it. But thank you guys so much for listening. Thanks everybody for your support. I'm JD.
I'm Jimmy.
And can't wait to talk to you next week.
Boom! Headshot!